It's not a big deal, but it's also it's like what Paul said.
Gilnosa Galmova. If I get that, I'm pretty impressed. All right, we are live streaming whenever you want to get started. Ready?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to have a call to order. Here. Here.
Here. Absent.
Here.
Mrs. Bergen, absent. Mrs. Schroeder.
Here. Do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to have an introduction of guests.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. We have two different groups of people we're excited to honor this evening. We have our academic awards, which I think the majority of you are here for. We're going to do that in just a second. But before we do that, we are going to have the Chicago Ridge Lions Club do a presentation for our Peace Poster Award winners. So I'm going to turn it over to Lonnie and Cindy to let you know what that's about.
My name is Meyer with the Chicago Ridge Lions Club, and I'm chairperson on this really fun event. I first would like to give the certificate of appreciation to Ms. Menskak. The entire program. I'm gonna let her to say a few things.
Hi, for those of you that don't know, thank you. I'm Meg Menskak. I'm an art teacher at Junior High School. I just wanted to say a few words. First of all, thank you to the Lions Club for the opportunity for our students. This is the third year that we've done this, and it just gets better every year. Our students work really hard on these projects. A lot of them work in class with me. There were some students that came by and they gathered all their materials and did all of the work outside of school. And then a big number of students even came in during their study hall during the night extra time, did effort for their times. I want to say I do really love this contest. It really teaches our students that art makes a difference outside of the classroom, that they can communicate ideas, and that their creativity and their voice matters in their community and essentially beyond their community. So I'm really proud of all the hard work and really proud of our finalists. And thank you for being here to celebrate their achievement.
This year, the Lions Peace Poster contest theme was Together as One. The students of Findlay Junior High were asked to envision what could happen when a diverse group of people unite from around the world for a cause or a goal. Imagine the world where we all come together as one. We had close to 20 entries. First year, we had 4. Last year, I think we may have had maybe a dozen. Lions Club chose a winner to represent our club at the district level. Unfortunately, it did not advance, but we are very happy to honor the students tonight. Also, all of the entries will be displayed at Chicago Ridge Public Library in January of 2026. I want to thank all of those who made this possible. where's Dr. Adam? Oh, there's Dr. Adam was on the committee with myself. Ryan Nicole Fox, who's not here, she was also on the committee as well. We want to thank our District 1A Governor, Richard Boyd, and this is kind of cool because he's from Chicago Ridge. So we have a governor of our district here. So raise your hand, Richard. Ryan Terry Costa. We have Vice President Ryan Terry McMaster. And our Secretary Ryan Bob McHugh. And one, of course, Ryan Adam Thorne. And he's going to announce the winners.
All right, thank you. If your name is called, you can please come up and stay up so we can take a picture of everyone. First, with an honorable mention, number one, receiving a $10 Amazon gift card, we have Kareem Abdullah. Number two, also receiving a $10 Amazon gift card, we have Lean Tabor. In second place, receiving a $25 Amazon gift card, we have Vilnota Welmova. And our first place winner, receiving a $50 Amazon gift card, we have Sophia Bruska. Wow.
Turn those posters around. Yes, it is around. We would love to see.
Turn around there so they can.
Oh, fantastic job, all of you. Thank you.
We're gonna go- Get some special. Okay.
Parents, can you hear me without the microphone?
Yeah.
Very good. So it's incredibly important that we celebrate these students and what they do. As district governor of District 1A, the birthplace of Lionism, it's important that we celebrate what we do and we celebrate that our teacher that's involved in helping them to put together their talents for the world to see. So please give them a round of applause. Important that we celebrate the parents that are involved, that to give our children the need to be able to show their talents to the world involved. So parents, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. As governor of District 1A, I want to present the students and your children with my governor's pin. So my governor's pin for my year is Go Lions Go. Go Lions Go is a chant to celebrate service, to celebrate action. The action that we do for our communities and the world in need. So I'd like to present my personal governor's pin to you all in congratulations for what you've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the Lions Club, and congratulations, guys, great work.
Keep on the good stuff.
Next up, we are going to honor our first trimester academic awards. I'm gonna ask that Reed Central come up and present their awards first.
Welcome, families. We are here to celebrate our academic achievement of our fourth and fifth graders. We're going to start our fifth graders tonight. Miss Genevieve Medina. Hendrick Sims. Martina Rossner. And now our fourth graders. Olivia Gallatin. Ashton Schroeder.
Smile, guys.
Fine. Good. So,
All right,
all right.
congratulations, you're gonna grab a treat bag. When you go. Congratulations, guys. Finley Junior High, Mr. Bailey is gonna come up with the names, Mr. Youngberg is actually over at Finley running, the conference, so we can turn it over to Ms. Bailey.
First, so after the eighth grader, we'll take a picture and then we'll do the next grade level. Stella Luther. Dana Abuhalaya. Balton. Andrew Cobb. Amir Mana. Selena Sade Kamala. Colin Snyder. Raymond Wally.
That is Josh. Marianne Brocton. Cesar. And Ellen Steiger.
All right, guys, come on down this way, all the way to this table, come on down. If you're taller, try to come towards the back. If you're shorter, you can go to the. You guys know what you're doing. Make sure you're in the window, that's perfect. Keep smiling. Keep smiling, guys. If you have a wonderful winter break in a couple of weeks, drive safe this evening. Thank you.
Took up about 7 stations. Yeah, we sure do. Okay, bye.
Let's wait a minute or two so we can actually hear each other possibly. You guys get good pictures? You never have to go to the- I don't have anything to worry about. We're just gonna wait another minute or two so we can hear.
Looks like she's like telling her to hit the corner.
Yeah. That's funny.
Bye now, thank you.
This is. Yeah. I think they'll eventually, once we get started. In the first few, we should be able to go through. Whenever you're ready, we can do donations to the district.
Okay, 3.0 donations to the district.
Yeah, so this is every year, the PTA has been generous enough to provide grants for our staff. And since they are usually over, the total is over $500, we have been approving them the last few years. So I would recommend we once again proactively approve their donation to our staff.
Motion? I'll make the motion.
A second.
Mrs.
Strode. Aye. Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Budget.
Aye.
Mrs. Strauss.
Aye, 5.0 or?
We, the consent agenda,
Oh,
4.0.
I skipped the other page. I apologize. I like to read the long version. 4.0, I'm looking for an approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Ooh.
I'll second.
Mrs. Budget.
Aye.
Mrs. Strode.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Strauss.
Aye. Hear an echo. 5.0 superintendent's report.
Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Our enrollment report right now, our current enrollment is a clean number, 1,550. That is a decrease of 6 students from last month, but we're still up 52 students from this time last year. We also have our PTA report. We had book fairs at all 3 buildings. It's our best one we've had at the junior high. I think in all the time I've been here, they had a really nice display, a good amount of books. So it was really nice to see some of our junior high kids purchasing those books. We do have a meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock over at Ridge Lawn. And then if you may have seen the flyers already, but they are doing a fundraiser for both. They have a CRSD 1275 beanie as well as a blanket. So I ordered my beanie to keep my head nice and warm during the winter. So if you get a chance, they make good gifts. They asked me to kind of push that. For 5.3, our vacant position and possible staffing needs, nothing has really changed from last month, other than to let you know in January, we will be posting for our staff members who are going to be retiring at the end of the year. So I'm sure they're getting a little antsy, but we will be posting for some of those positions. 5.4, as you heard me tell our families, winter break is going to come up sooner rather than later. The winter break is the 22nd through January 2nd this year. The district office will be closed from 12/24 through 1/1. So we will be open those first 2 days, and then as well as that Friday right before the teachers come back. And our hours are going to be 8 to 3 during that winter break. Are you okay, Kathy?
No, there's an echo. Someone's volume is on, so you're
Yeah.
hearing like.
Okay, so you gotta mute the speaker for someone. That's what it would be. 5.5, our inclement weather. Usually when I talk about this, we haven't even had any real inclement weather yet, but we've obviously received a lot of snow. I know this weekend is supposed to get really, really cold. So just a reminder, in August of 2023, the board did approve e-learning days that can be used in case of emergency. We can also do a traditional snow day. However, if we have the time, we do want to go ahead and do the e-learning day. I do want to say the custodians have been hard at work. I know they were out early Sunday, and then at least over here, we had the village did a good job on the streets, but came by afterwards and like blocked all the sidewalks. So that's something we're going to really be making sure that we watch for, so that they can get through that a little bit more carefully. Yeah. 5.6 is our annual conference review. The board, six board members, as well as the district office administrators, went down to Chicago for the annual conference, and just wanted to open it up for anyone who felt that they wanted to share out anything that they saw or learned during that time. So that's what I'm going to open up now for our board.
I'll go.
Okay, do you want to unmute yourself?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that I did win the bingo, and I want to congratulate Kathy on her chip clips. One thing I didn't really like about this year was a lot of the event sessions. I put them on my calendar, but then when I went to go to them, then it's when it prompted me that there's an additional fee and you have to sign up.
Were those the Friday ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually before you even add it to your calendar,
They let you
it
know.
it lets you know. So I did miss a few of them that I wanted to go to, but I think one of the better ones I really enjoyed was Manage Your Time, or It Will Manage You, with PJ Capozzi. I think Megan is obsessed with him.
That's a good way to put it.
Quiet in the back. He talked about the societal pressures, ego and self-actualization, work-life balance. There really is no such thing. You can't be great and have boundaries, and feeling overwhelmed and changing nothing is the issue. He said communication's important. I think this is within all aspects, with your family, with your students, with your parents, with your coworkers. Don't just assume things. You need to communicate and set expectations and ask people what they expect. You know, it might make things a little easier for you, instead of just racking your brain thinking that, you know, you're doing something wrong or you're doing too much, when in fact you don't even need to do all that. So there's more notes, but that's basically the gist of it.
Thanks, Joanna. If you want, you can mute yourself so we don't get an echo.
Okay, so I went to what was called creating a hashtag no ghosts culture, where every person matters. This was a really kind of hands-on breakout session. We did a lot of grouping, we did a lot of walking around and talking to new people, but really the gist was that we should remove the yeah, but statement from the schools. And people first, professionals second. That tied into the every person should be seen and not one position is worth more than the others. In one of the breakout sessions, they had us talk about like, without who in the building would you not be able to do your job, you know, and not like students and parents, obviously. But the focal point was, you know, the custodian is worth just as much as the administrator, you know, because quite frankly, the custodians have it rough in a school building. Maintenance, cafeteria, volunteers, everyone is worth their weight in dollars. So that was the warm and fuzzy summary of what my breakout session was at hashtag no ghost culture.
Thanks, Jay.
Mhm.
Anyone else want to share?
Okay, so I attended it was called Follow Me, Social Media, School Boards, and the First Amendment. And it was an interesting like session about, you know, obviously we want to reach people on social media, but we also don't want to infringe on anybody's First Amendment rights as well. Especially in social, where people use social media as a platform and they will not necessarily post non-school related things on school pages, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, you know, whatever social concept is going on at the time, and how to basically kind of get the information out to the public, but without, you know, silencing somebody else's First Amendment as well. Like, you want to give people a voice and you also want to get your information out. And majority of the consensus was turning off comments on all social media pages and stuff like that. Having a disclaimer on there that if you want to talk about this, call the school and we will talk to you about this, no problem. If you want to discuss this, this isn't, you know, give the people a voice, but it doesn't need to be on there, because if you start deleting these comments, like if somebody goes off on a tangent and is just posting everywhere, say in Chicago Ridge about some social aspect, and then you go delete that, even because it had nothing to do with the school, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to delete this comment because it has absolutely nothing to do with the school, well, then that person could sue you for infringing on their First Amendment rights to say what they want to say, you know? So it was very interesting and stuff like that. It also pressed like reiterating social media guidelines to staff every year versus on like hiring date and stuff like that. And that way, you know, your entire staff knows, remembers, and everything like that. So I found that really interesting. I have the background in legal, so that's why I tend to go to law, boring law stuff. I apologize. And then what I also attended was about background checking staff and everything like that. And I've been meaning to share that with the board about comprehensive background checks, checking every registry in every state to make sure, like, because people will move states and everything like that, and how to double check and all that kind of stuff. So that was interesting. A lot of it I already knew and I've shared with the board in the past from my own experiences. But the one interesting thing was, you know, checking registries in every single state, because you never know, somebody could move from California to Illinois and we're just checking around us and stuff like that. But yeah, that was all legal, fun, boring stuff. Sorry.
So, as always, I was honored to be able to vote on behalf of the board. So I didn't get to go to a lot of sessions, but the one that I did go to, I thought was particularly important because at some point soon we'll be coming up for a new contract with our teachers. And it was about the art of negotiation, but what I really enjoyed about it, it was about establishing a culture of communication and trust. And I know the board president, and I'm curious what other board members know, I don't know how many times the union reps at the building levels meet with the administrators to talk about what's going on in the pulse. Because then when you go into negotiations, there aren't a lot of surprises. There are things that are important and then admin already knows, and it's something that can be discussed in a positive way and teachers are allowed to share their voices. I don't know how often our unions are having meetings with their members in the building to kind of allow people to share what's going on. And that kind of opens up almost a dialogue that you were talking about where everyone feels heard, and it just sets it up into going into a good negotiation. So I felt like they brought a ton of info to the table that would be useful going into our next contract negotiation in supporting, everyone. There was a lot of numbers and math used, and I'm going to share the PowerPoint with you guys for someone who maths better than I do. But it was just a great way to have realistic expectations based on, surrounding areas and things like that. So I felt like it gave me a lot of great information as I've not negotiated a teacher contract before, and I don't know if I will be the one, but just for all of the board members who are here, for all of us to have kind of this insight. And then hopefully, maybe we can find out some of that information, because I know I don't know how often the union is able to meet with their members and then communicate with the admin of each building, kind of what's going on, to then for the admin to communicate with Adam and then to share with all of us. So I felt like these were all really great things to just help support all the staff members in the building to make them, feel that their voices are being heard, their needs are being met, and they're being supported. So then therefore they can support the kids, which is what this is all about. So that's it.
Thanks, Kristen.
No worries. So I liked all the sessions I went to in the past a little bit better than the ones that I went to this year, but of the ones I went to that stood out, there was one called After ESSER, family-led programs making a lasting impact. So I think it's always good to get the community involved in the school and see what they can do to help us out, and especially after ESSER, what they can do to fill in some gaps that maybe we might have. And it focused on two different programs. One was called PTA Reflections. So it was kind of run through the PTA. It was like an art contest to get more students' voices heard. That sounded pretty cool. And then another one called the School of Excellence. And they work to like send out a survey to community people in the community to get feedback and like what their expectations are, and then they like work on whatever the goals and the feedback that they get from the survey. So both just interesting programs that we can maybe look into. Yeah.
I would agree though that, well, I wasn't there last year, but the years before felt hardier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad it wasn't the only one.
I was disappointed that they didn't have the carousel panels, because I felt like,
Yeah, I
for
like
me
those.
at least, I don't have a lot of time to go to sessions, and it was for me to be able to see multiple different things that I felt would be supportive in a snapshot of time. It was a 2-hour thing, but you could see, I think, up to 3 different things, but pop around and get the info. So I did miss that this year.
Well, thank you, everyone, for sharing. I know I had shared out my notes in there. I went specifically to Illinois Principals Association about hiring good leaders. Got a really good booklet that really reinforced some of the things that we're doing, as well as a little tweaks here and there that we think we could make. And then I was really excited to go to one. It was on AI using student data without names to really analyze that data and where the gaps are. And I was really excited to hear like what this district is doing and what they're running it. Well, it turned out they were using a different company and paying like $30,000-$40,000 to have them run the number. So a little disappointed in that. Hopefully that will trickle down one day where we can do it in-house. But I was glad I at least attended to realize that, hey, we're not doing anything different than they are, other than they're paying a lot of money for someone to look at numbers.
Well,
So
glad I didn't go go to that.
Yes.
I was mad you
I
signed
know.
up for it. I
Yeah,
did too, and I
yeah.
was like, oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I didn't read the real fine print that said, this group
This is
that
a
was helping
sales
them out.
portion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we at least take some things away and as was shared, yes, there will be some years you're disappointed in what you go. Other years, it's something that could have just a huge impact on the district, on the kids, on the staff. So I'm glad we had a good turnout down there and you just never know which session you're going to end up at. So thank you for those who were able to attend. Tony, we're looking forward to having you down there next year. I'm going to jump into our my final main one, which is 5.7, the equity policy evaluation. We have a compliance visit coming up. It was actually supposed to be a full-on compliance visit our second week back in January. They have not been able to get the website up and running for us to post everything. But there are a few things that since the last compliance visit, we just have to update. It's nothing that we haven't had. It's mainly having it in different places. And one of those was a review of our equity policy. This is really going back to Title IX, making sure we're not offering anything to certain groups of people that we're not offering to others. We went through our evaluation. We feel comfortable in everything that we're doing. So that is what is in front of you. It takes place every 4 years. So in 4 more years, we'll look at it again, but we're doing well. So we need to show that the board was presented this and you don't have anything you got to vote on right now. But that is what that is. Any questions on the equity policy?
I thought it was really interesting to read. I don't know if I've been around long enough to see it the last time. But it's an interesting survey.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things we have to make sure that we aren't answering any of those in a way that they shouldn't be. And I understand for sure why they want us to look at it. The hard part is Title IX has changed 3 times in the last like 3.5 years as administrations have changed at the federal level. They keep changing what the rules are. So that is one thing we've had to really keep up on. Our attorneys have sent districts like tons of information on it. But again, to me, as long as you're doing things for all kids, you're going to be in a good spot. So, and that's always our goal. And then finally, 5.8, we had quite a few FOIA requests over the last month. And we believe that some of them may be AI generated. There's parts to the law that are changing for that coming January 1st. But we had, I'm just going to read off what we had. Judiciary, LLC, and COGS, we received that on the 18th. We answered it on December 3rd. We had Clear Front Alliance and Parents Care and COGS. Series 1C received 1119 and 12-4. Clearfront Alliant and Parents Care and COGS Series 1D received 1119, answered on 12-4. And CT Mills received 1130 and answered 12-1. It was a lot of work that our office had to do.
What are they FOIAing?
Lots of different things, everything from payroll that they try to get to different policies. They FOIA'd, I would say, attorney information. They FOIA'd every single district around, and we're required to give a response. Okay. So, yep. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs.
Sorry,
Yes.
Dr. Thorns,
Yeah.
can I do a follow-up question?
Absolutely.
To maybe 5.5, I don't know. What can be done about the car that's parked in front of Finley with all
The snow covering it?
No, like it's taking up like 3 spots.
Yeah, so we've had conversations with the village and the police department. They are working on getting us signs that say anything like 2 inches of snow or more that they cannot park there because it's private property. We don't really have anything we can do right now. They're very aware that this is ours, but until we have the signs up, we're kind of limited in what we can legally do.
Is someone's car parked there?
Yes, which is buried in snow.
Those neighbors.
Yeah. And I will say most of the neighbors who park there overnight, when it snows, they know when they see Wes out there with the truck, they move so we can clear it in time. But we have one who has not moved. So, any other questions on that?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Nothnagel. I'm trying to get the camera over there for all of you. I know that's what you were hoping for. Got these trees in the way. So whenever you're ready, Mrs. Nothnagel.
Date upcoming professional learning. So on January 5th, which is the first day back for staff after winter break, but not students, is our next Institute Day. And it is all around artificial intelligence, AI. So our AI committee will be presenting the AI guidelines to the staff as a whole. And then we are having Eric Santos out from LTC to present 3 hours to our staff, all about AI tools, all about AI tools and how to help with work efficiency, how to use it for planning and differentiation, but then also like, what is AI literacy, just kind of that basic foundational learning about and around AI. And then the staff on the next early dismissal day, which is January 28th, will have time to work through some of those tools. So they will, I'll revisit some of the information that Eric Santos will share out with them at the beginning of that early dismissal. And then in their buildings, with their building grade level teams or content teams, they'll be able to work through some of those tools and kind of plan or see how those tools can benefit them, how they can use them, and kind of just get some kind of hands-on time to kind of navigate them in a group setting. Their administrators will be there, and then they'll have time to share out in their building what they learned and how they experienced. We need to wait our
I'm not doing that.
Movement break.
So we're really hoping that this day, these 2 days in January really start to set the foundation for AI as we kind of take this endeavor in the district and work with our staff and understanding what AI is and how it can really benefit our staff as a whole, and understanding what it is and what we can do with it. And then what our students will be doing with it, especially in that 6th through 8th grade range when they might be working with it more often. And then in the March Institute Day, this is March 17th. This is when our staff are participating in the professional learning from 8 to 1. These are the parent-teacher conference days, part of that contract. Due to voting in schools, unfortunately, we have to transition this to a virtual day just because we don't have enough parking to run professional learning in the district, and also provide enough parking for our community members to vote in our schools. So we did the same thing last year where we will have our staff participate in the professional learning at home, and we'll provide them 2 choice boards. One choice board will be on professional learning, where I'll get feedback from the staff on what types of professional webinars and topics and strategies would they like me to include on that choice board. We'll also include things like co-teaching and Dreambox and things like that we are already implementing, or resources that we're already using in the district. And then the other choice board will be self-care. Just we know at that time of the year, we're kind of coming to the point where we're in the cusp of going into that end of the year. We want to make sure our staff is set up for a strong 3rd part of the year, maybe quarter of the year. So we give them some time to kind of reset themselves also on that day. So it is, we did this last year for the first time, and we had phenomenal feedback from the staff about the professional learning sessions that they attended. We provided them webinars, recorded webinars, and then also live sessions. And the staff had just said the topics were great. The navigating to find the resources was phenomenal too. So we're really hoping that they also benefit from this day. It is also St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully they enjoy that too.
Self-care.
What'd you say?
Go to church.
That's right.
Sure.
So 6.2, summer school update and stipend approval. As a district, as a board, we've been talking about just the changes of possible summer school as an academic, and is it an academic focus, and is it really benefiting our students, and how many students are we reaching with that, and is there a possible change? So we are making a shift from the academic to more of an exploration. So we're hoping that this year, with changing over and opening this up more of a hands-on learning experience and providing our students more with leadership and curiosity and creativity opportunities, Our students will be more engaged, we'll build some skills. Hopefully there will be more interested in learning in those topics, and then also bring it back in the school year in the fall. So we're starting those plans. We're knee deep. I know I talk about this every December and everybody's like, what are you talking about? There's snow on the ground. But this is really when we start making those plans. So what we're hoping to be able to do is our summer program will be, will run from the Tuesday after students get out, which is June 9th, until the Thursday before 4th of July, which is July 2nd. We'll run two-week sessions that will host 2 classes for each session. So a student that signs up will sign up for session 1 or session 2, and then they'll sign up within that session for 2 classes. So students will have many opportunities within that 2-week session to participate in these opportunities, these engagement opportunities, hands-on experiments, activities for leadership, creativity, and all those things. So students will not be able to sign up for session 1 and 2 so that we can provide more opportunities. So when Kathy and I were crunching numbers, we think with this program, we'll be able to reach possibly up to 200, 300 students, maybe even more, because of the way that we're running 2 sessions. We can have up to 10, 12, 13 staff members running sessions, and then since they're repeated, it gives us a bigger bang for our buck. And then we'll be allowed to host kindergarten through 8th grade students and providing more opportunities for all of those grades instead of limiting it at the junior high or limiting it because of staffing and that stipend and all of that. So it'll be an 8 to 11:30 for the students, and they'll come in, they'll go to 1 class for an hour and a half, they'll have a little bit of a movement break in between, and then they'll go to a second class. And then they'll dismiss for that day, and it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 2 weeks. They'll leave, and then the next group will come in for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 2 weeks. So a lot of planning, a lot of discussion. My next step with this is to really reach out to the teachers to see what ideas they can bring to the table about what we can offer to our students, because those are the staff members that will be running this. So we'll send an interest survey out to say, hey, what type of program can you think about providing to our students? What grade levels? Give me a little synopsis, a summary of what this could be like for our students sitting in your classroom for the summer, and then we'll move forward from there. And more communication, of course, will be sent to the board to update all of you, but then to the families more in early spring as we start rolling this out. Yes.
So K through 8?
Yes.
This is kids that are just finishing up kindergarten, going into 1st grade, or will this be preschool kids going into?
So this is kids going into kindergarten and kids going into 8th grade.
And you said, when does it start right after, when school ends?
June 9th.
The next week?
Yes.
School ends that Thursday.
The Thursday before. So later on in the board meeting, we'll be asking the board to approve the stipends for all of the positions that are needed for not only the summer exploration program, but then also the extended school year program, the ESY, that is required of the district to provide for our students. That is a part of their needs. Any other questions on that? Okay, and then I do have another 6.3 other. I just wanted to update the board. I have been working monthly with the librarians on building out the library curriculum. So I've been in meeting with the 2 elementary librarians and the junior high librarian, and they are working really hard to great group discussions. We've been doing a little bit of professional development as well. We've been looking at resources, we've been looking at standards. So I wanted to update the board on that, but then also share throughout that discussion, we've also been talking about that library clerk position. And not only the librarians, but also myself wanted to thank the board for opening up that position. They have found that position has opened up so many opportunities for them to be working directly with the students. It has freed up their time, which then has allowed them to think very differently about how they're planning their curriculum for the future. When I was meeting with them last year, they had a very difficult time about how they could see themselves working with the students because they didn't have that much time. But now with those library clerks being able to fix books, repair books, you know, file books, check books in, and doing a lot of that more clerk work, they are able to work directly with those students. They've even talked about how they're going up to students and saying, hey, I know you're really interested in soccer. Look at this section of books. I really think you should take this book. So really meeting some of those students in high interest areas of the library and finding those books for those students. And so they're finding that students are more engaged in the library book side of the things, and connecting things even to the classroom instruction. But we're talking about plants in second grade science and reading, and then they're able to connect and read stories about plants in library. So it's all really coming together. And so I wanted to share that, and then also thank the board and thank the board on behalf of the librarians for that position, because they've really seen a benefit.
Megan. So we get to transition from talking about all the good things kids are doing to property tax proceeding resolutions.
7.0, Chief School Business Officials Report. Excuse me.
And Kathy, would you be able to unmute yourself on there?
some 8.0 old business?
Nope.
8.1 potential board action to adopt or post for a second reading board policies.
Yes, I'm recommending that we adopt all the policies. Remember the one question on there was if we teach the potato famine, and we do, so.
Second.
Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Rowe. Aye. Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 8.2 potential board action to approve the CRSD 127.5 artificial intelligence guidelines for staff and students.
Yes, these are the guidelines that were presented last meeting. We have a couple of our representatives in the back there causing problems. So I would recommend that they be approved as presented at the last meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Petracca.
Aye, and thank you guys for all your hard work.
Yep.
On that evolving topic.
Mhm.
All right, 8.3 other,
Nothing.
9.0 new business.
Nope.
9.1 public hearing on tax levy.
Yeah.
Is there like a weird script?
Is
that I
there
have
a
to
script
read?
in there?
Pause for effects. Well, oh, here it is. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so agenda item 9.1, public hearing for the 2025 tax levy. I'm opening the hearing at 7:38 PM. Is there anyone who would like to address the board regarding the 2025 tax levy? Is there anyone who would like to address the board regarding the 2025 tax levy? Is there anyone who would like to address the board regarding the 2025 tax levy? Hearing is now closed at 7:38 PM. Guys, sorry. All right, so then it is going to be 9.2, potential board action to adopt the 2025 tax levy in the amount of $8,233,592.
I'll make a motion. Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. All right. 9.3, potential board action to approve the resolution authorizing reduction of certain fund levies for the 2025 levy year.
Motion.
Mrs. Grove on the side. Okay. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Grove. Aye. Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mr. Medina, you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 9.4, potential board action to approve a resolution for Petrarca, Gleason, Boyle, and Izzo LLC to participate in the property tax proceedings.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Grove. Aye. Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen. Aye. And Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 9.5, potential board action to approve reviewed board policies regarding sexual abuse and investigation.
Yeah, so this is another compliance one. It is required every 2 years to look at any policies that deal with sexual abuse. Almost all the policies have actually, they get updated so frequently, we're within those 2 years, but there were a couple on there that just missed it by a couple months. So we are not looking to change anything, but we are looking to review those and approve them. The other one that is not on here, but that we had to adjust was our discipline code / student handbook. It didn't have anything to do with the discipline portion, but there's certain things that we had posted on the website that are now required to also be in the handbook. Within the last 6 months, they changed that. So Julie did a lot of work for us updating those. Those will get posted fairly soon. Because it didn't have anything to do with the discipline code, she didn't need to bring the team together. It's just required things that need to be in there. So.
I'll make a motion. Mrs. Levon.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen. Aye. Mrs. Grove. Aye. Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Aye. Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 9.6, potential board action to approve contract renewal with Power School for the 26-27 school year.
This is our annual review for our student information system.
Or do you feel like all the kinks have been worked out?
I feel like a lot of them have been. It's definitely running smoother than when we first got it. And I mean, the principals deal with it way more than I do, but I'm getting a lot of head nods and shoulder shrugs.
Do the staff feel like they like it better than what they've had previously?
I think it's a toss up for, there's always gonna be people who like it more.
Yeah.
It's that or Skyward or the two. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend we approve it at this point.
Just curious.
Yep. It's
I'll make a
definitely split right
motion.
down. Second.
Mrs. Bergen. Hi. Mr. Medina.
Hi.
Mrs. Levanter.
Aye.
Mrs. Grow.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Hi.
Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 9.7, potential board action to change the location of the January 13th, 2026 board meeting to Finley Junior High.
Yes, we should blame Julie Bonk for this one. She continues to win conference championships almost every single year. And we've done it on this night often, but I felt that they weren't getting it was kind of lost in the shuffle. So in January to make sure we have enough room for the families, we're going to move it to the junior high. And we'll recognize them then.
I will make the motion.
Second.
Mrs. Grow on the second. Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Levanter.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Grow. Aye. Mrs. Bergen. Aye. And Mrs. Petracca.
Aye. 9.8 other,
Nothing
10.0
tonight.
meeting
Yep.
report. 11.0 informational, 12.0 opportunity for visitors to speak. 13.0 president's prerogative. As we kind of go to the end of the year and halfway for teachers, kind of, I just like to say it was beautiful to see all the kids here for straight A's, but anyone who is doing better than they think they were before or trying hard really deserves an award. It was fantastic to see the Lions Club and their commitment to the community and also being part of the school, even with the Leo Club now at the junior high. There's been a lot of great things going on at all the schools. I agree, the PTA book fair was great. I loved having it at the junior high. As well as here, all the kids bought a bunch of stuff. There was the band there is the band concert coming up tomorrow at Finley. There is also a
Winter concert.
winter concert.
Thursday.
Thursday, there was there is the thing at the mall coming up for the junior high band. So Mr. Kelly's doing a lot of great things. Also, this winter musical was here for the grammar school kids. And it was just beautiful to see all of them together. And it's just great to have all these things happening for all of the kids all around. I know that I kind of liked what Megan was saying about the Institute days and things like that. A winter break is a great time to rest and reset and have time with your family. And whether you're celebrating Christmas or just enjoying that time with the family, I think it's a great break for all staff and teachers. And obviously custodians are not always totally on break, but there's definitely time. So I just want to say we appreciate everyone and all the hard work they're doing. I know kids start to get a little bit squirrely pretty soon, so I know that everyone's putting in their time, so to speak. It's fantastic to celebrate with family, but I also think it's a time to just be thankful for all that we have, and to be grateful for all of you guys, what you do, and for everyone out there and all the kids to be thankful for the family, their warm houses and everything that they have. It's just a nice time to be together, to make a new year, to have resolutions, to kind of keep hope alive and keep something to look forward to. The events in the village are also great too. I think it is wonderful, the tree lighting to have Finley there. I know there's a ton of kids volunteering for Operation Santa on the fire truck, which has been a thing since I was a child, which is being moved to the 20th because it's supposed to be so cold this weekend. So I, again, hope that if I don't see anyone, the staff and everyone from the district, from the board has a great winter break.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
All right, we're going to be looking to reconvene to close session for the purpose of the discussion of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider an increase in compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the Local Government Wage Increase Transparency Act may not be closed and shall be open to the public and posted and held in accordance with the act as defined in the Open Meetings Act, Section 2C1. The discussion of collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees as described in Section 2C2. The purpose or release of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired as defined in Section 2C5, the discussion of student disciplinary cases as defined in Section 2C9, the discussion of pending or probable and imminent litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the district as defined in Section 2C11, and the discussion of minutes of prior meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act as defined in Section 2C21 for the purpose of review, approval, or release of such minutes. We will not be discussing any security threats at this time. If we have to. Yeah, Alex. Yeah. So we're looking to make a motion. Oh, you're good.
Aye.
Aye.